Hey everyone, ready to dive into something a little different. We're really going to unpack Robert Kiyosaki's advice on building wealth, especially for millennials. And let me tell you, it's not your typical chase your dreams kind of spiel.
It really makes you think, huh? Kiyosaki's built his whole brand around financial education, so you'd figure he'd be all about like following your passion. But he kind of throws a wrench in that, doesn't he?
So you're saying do what you love isn't the be-all, end-all for financial success? Because honestly, that's what we've always been told, right?
It sounds good, sure, especially when you're young. But Kiyosaki's point is just doing what you love often means more taxes and way fewer chances to build real wealth.
And he should know, right? Didn't he say somewhere that he's not exactly thrilled with writing books? Even though that's what, made him a fortune.
Makes you wonder, if Robert Kiyosaki isn't head over heels for every part of his work, what's that mean for the rest of us?
Makes it way more relatable, that's for sure. He's not up there telling us to just chase rainbows. He gets it. Sometimes the path to wealth means doing things y'all don't love.
And that's where his cash flow quadrant comes in. It's kind of his claim to fame, and it really lays it all out. Breaks work down into 4 types, right? Employee, self-employed, big business owner, and investor. And he's all about shooting for those last 2, big business owner and investor. That's where the real money's at, he says.
So it's bigger than just working for yourself.
Totally. It's about systems and investments that bring in cash, even when you're not clocking in. And that takes a whole different way of thinking and different skills than just doing what you love.
He's got this wild story about his mentor, making him go to Peru, check out some gold mines or something, turned into a huge financial lesson for him. You realize investing in yourself sometimes means taking risks, getting out of your comfort zone.
You know, that story's huge. His mentor wasn't trying to waste his money, he was testing him. Kiyosaki could have said, nah, I'm good. But instead, dumps a bunch of money, flies to Peru, proves he's serious about learning, about taking action. That's what the mentor wanted to see.
That's wild. So many people would hesitate, especially if it meant losing money. But for him, it was about the knowledge, even if it didn't work out the way he thought it would.
And that's the difference, right? That willingness to jump in, even if it's scary, that's what sets those successful people apart, entrepreneurs, investors. Most people are so scared of messing up, they stay stuck, never really taking a chance.
So being brave enough to learn, to adapt, even if you stumble along the way.
That's it. And it all ties into another one of his big things. Watch out for what he calls shiny objects.
Shiny objects, huh? What's that mean exactly?
Think about those trendy investments, those get-rich-quick schemes. Everyone's jumping on board, but they don't know the risks involved.
So we got to watch out for those shiny objects, those investments that look awesome but might not be so great in the long run.
Exactly. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially when everyone else is making money hand over fist, you know?
Yeah.
But Kiyosaki's warning us, don't just follow the crowd. He's tried stuff like Bitcoin and all that. But his point is, you got to be smart, rarely. Make informed choices. Line up those investments with what you understand and what you're aiming for.
Which brings us back to that invest in what you love thing. How do you actually do that? It sounds great, but where's the sweet spot between, your passions and actually making bank?
Well, it's not always about turning your hobby into a business, although, hey, if you can swing it, great. It's more about, I guess, making sure your investments match your values, what you're interested in, that kind of thing.
Give me an example.
Sure. Think about real estate. Kiyosaki's really big on real estate, right? Built a big chunk of his wealth that way. And he talks about how he approaches it with a sense of, purpose, almost love, you could say.
So it's not just seeing dollar signs, right? It's about finding something you actually care about, something that keeps you going when things get tough. Because let's face it, investments, they're going to have their ups and downs.
For sure. That passion, it turns into really understanding what you're doing, You're more likely to make good decisions, ride out the rough patches, and come out ahead.
It's like this invest in what you love thing connects to another one of his big points, financial education.
Absolutely. He's all about investing in yourself, learning about money, no matter what you do. He doesn't expect us all to be financial wizards, but you got to understand the basics right, so you can make smart choices and not get burned.
Makes sense. The more you know, the better you'll be at making decisions that work for you, right? Investing in real estate, starting a business, or just handling your money day to day.
Right. And he's not just talking about going to school or whatever. Mentors, coaches, always looking for new knowledge, new experiences, stuff that pushes you.
So never stop learning about money, basically.
Yeah. He had to teach himself about everything. Taxes, debt, lawsuits even. Not always the most fun stuff, but you got to know it. especially if you want to be that big business owner, that investor he's always talking about.
And that ties into the whole taking risks thing, right? The bigger the reward, the more you got to know so you don't get in over your head.
Totally. And that's where that liquidity thing comes in. Kiyosaki's always stressing how important it is to understand how easy it is to turn what you have into cash.
Like, stocks are easy to buy and sell, right? But a business or real estate, that takes more time to, like, get your money out.
Exactly. Stocks, ETFs, they're pretty liquid. But real estate, businesses, that's a longer game, and you got to really understand the market. Kiyosaki's saying it's not just about finding a hot investment, it's knowing how it works and if it fits into your overall plan.
Sounds like Kiyosaki's saying, look at the big picture when it comes to building wealth. It's more than just stocks or property. It's got to match who you are, what you care about.
You got it. And that makes you think about that whole work-life balance idea in a different way, don't you think?
So are we ditching the whole work-life balance idea? Because Kiyosaki makes it sound like it's not about keeping those two things totally separate.
More like blending them together, right? Instead of work over here, life over there.
Yeah.
He's saying, find ways to bring your passions into how you make money.
Find that sweet spot where it doesn't even feel like work, like it's just part of who you are and what you love.
Exactly. It's not about working 24/7, no fun allowed. It's picking what you spend your time and money on, stuff that can, like, pay off in both ways. Money and, actually enjoying yourself.
Not just getting rich, but building a life where your work actually, I don't know, gives you energy because it's something you're into. That's a cool way to look at it.
Right. And it reminds me, he always talks about freedom being his big motivator. And it's not just having a ton of cash. It's having the power to do what you want with your life,
Yeah, because when you think about it, that's what financial freedom really gives you. Choices. Do what you love. Spend time with people you care about. Or just say no to stuff you don't want to do.
Exactly. Having the means and the freedom to create the life you want, whatever that looks like.
And that kind of comes full circle back to that idea, invest in what you love, right? What really lights your fire, and then finding ways to use that to grow financially and personally.
And it's not going to happen overnight, right? It takes work. It takes learning as you go. But what Kiyosaki's really saying is you have the power. You can take control of your money, your future, and build a life that's both, like, successful and something you actually dig.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Kiyosaki's advice, it's more than just that follow your passion thing we always hear. It's about being smart about your money, learning the ropes, and maybe stepping outside that comfort zone to get to where you want to be.
For sure. And remember, the road to wealth might have some twists and turns. But with hard work, knowing your stuff, and a clear vision, it's definitely possible.
And on that note, here's something to think about. What does investing in what you love actually mean for you? What gets you fired up that could bring you both financial success and personal fulfillment? Keep that in mind as you explore the world of money and entrepreneurship. Until next time.